Let's go see if we can call these cows and they'll come running. Just a stunningly beautiful day. Cowie, cowie, cowies! Come on, babies, run! Hurry up! Mouses, Tim? Can you find a mouse? Cowie, cowie! Hurry up! Come on, babies! Run! Oh, you're feeling a little bit lazy. Maybe if I get over here by the grain, there'll be a... We better hurry or we're gonna miss out. Here they come. Come on, babies, run! Hurry! Run! There they go. Here they come. Are you ready for it? Okay, here it is. Come and get some grain. Hurry up. And look at that. I scrubbed out the trough with a scrub brush and some water and brought the garden hose over here from the water trough. And apparently that's what the issue was, because Coco is happy to eat out of the trough now. Get it, babies. Good job. Need to put a little bit more over this way. There. Success. That's what it was. We washed out the trough and that changed the dynamics. She loves it. Hooray! So now we can slowly start building it up. Come on, Kurt. You get yours too. That's a boy. It's a beautiful day. I think we'll head back out to the big farm and see what kind of trouble we can get up to there. There's been a phone call from the railway to my neighbor that there were some cows spotted on the train tracks. I'm pretty sure they're not his cows, but he's kind of the go-to guy for the railway. And they phone him first and then he gets the job. And so I'll run down the railway track and see if I can find a cow and identify who it belongs to, ear tags and so on. And we'll talk about that. All right. Nice day for a drive on a country road, wouldn't you say? Watch for the bear. There's usually a bear that lives right over on the left here. I call him Buddha because he sits in the middle of the opening, back on his haunches. Well, usually he sits like that in the springtime, eating dandelions. We have a friend. See him? Nope, that's not a cow. That's a bear. Hello, Buster. Still there. He's just sitting there looking at your cows. No, sir, I don't like him. I don't see him. Not today. Buddha. I don't think he'll be hibernating yet. Not for another couple of weeks. There's still lots of rose hips for him to eat. Look at all the money. Looks like gold coins hanging off the trees. That's what I used to think when I was a little kid. Almost there. Here we are. And that cow is either down that way towards Vancouver or up that way towards Prince George. Anybody's guess. I don't see her now, but where's those cows, Finn? You see them cows? Oh, don't kid me. You're not smelling for a cow. So we're going to go for a walk and see what we see. I think we'll pick this direction first. You can see our cows. They're up on the hill there. Up there, you can see Candy Cow. She's always a dead giveaway. She's bright white. So we'll go down this way first, or it's a 50-50 shot, and we'll go that way second. You ready to go, Tim? Walking on the tracks. You might think that it's a great place to take a walk, but because of the railroad ties back and forth in front of you, walking a mile on a train track is like walking 4 miles on a regular hiking path. It's hard on the legs. So my neighbor that we got the phone call from, well, that's my fence, but just past the corner his fence starts there, and we'll check his fence for him as we go. Train track guys, they're not that fussy about what they leave behind. But in days gone by, the sides of the train tracks were just littered with junk. And there's still quite a bit of stuff to be found. No cows though. No cows in sight at all. I'm gonna walk out here. It's easier than walking on those things. So we'll go around this corner, and then there's a long straight stretch. And then after that, there's an S-bend that goes like that. And just out the middle of the S-bends is where my neighbor's fence stops. So we'll go to his corner and check his fence on the left. His fence is always excellent. He's never the problem. But after you get to the edge of my pasture here in the trees there ways, then on this side of the tracks, the right-hand side, that's where the fence is in a lot of disrepair, and the cows walk back and forth just however they please. As you can see, there's a pretty good cow trail right here. They go up and down here. Look at that, like a freeway for cows, and they're not supposed to be on the tracks at all. And I've talked to him about it multiple times, and it's It's a pretty big project because it's not actually his land. That's range land that he has range rights to. He pays for the range rights. He buys so many head of cattle you can put on the range, on that section of range. And over the years, various ranchers have had those range rights, and none of them have maintained the fence, and it's a disaster, as you can tell. They don't worry about this fence or the train tracks. They use my neighbor who maintains his fence because he doesn't want his cows on the tracks. The range uses just one fence on this side, and if the cows get on the tracks, so be it. Fairly ruthless. But that's the story. So my corner is right around here somewhere. I can't see it through the trees. Right there. Just down the other side of Finnegan is the end of my pasture. Right there. There, you can see it through the trees. That's where my fence tees into the rail. So it's good up to here, but then after that, there's trees and everything else on the fence. And look at this path. It's better to walk on this cow trail than it is on the railway. There's a lot of cows passing through here. And they go down there because there must be a place over the fence. And it'll come back up and back and forth. But here's that straight stretch I told you about. We're going to go down the other end of this straight stretch. And then I'll get you a shot. That's the hay shed. But when you get way down the other end, you can see the shop roof from way down there, 2 miles away or something. And it'll send you a shot from there. And we're going to check the fence on the way on this side. I'm not doing that side because there's no point. Down here, it's quite a long bank. We call this, the neighbors and the people who grew up here, they call this whole thing here the Big Fill, because they took a bunch of material, dirt, they scooped it out of a bank over there. We call it the Borrow Pit, and they filled all this up. It's a long ways up, but that way down there, that's the bottom of the valley, and they built all this all the way up with that material out of that Borrow Pit over there. Because train tracks have to be level. You can't have trains going up and downhill. That's only in fairy tales. Very little slope for a train track. And very gradual uphill or downhill inclines. But that's a long ways down there. 60 feet. Maybe more, 80 feet straight down. You'd slide on your backside if you tried to go down there. It's steep. Anyway, that's why this is straight, because this is all fill material from back when they built. Well, they maintain it, of course, every 3 years, but back, I think it was 1912. I'll put it up on the screen. I forgot the number. And the railway was completed. It's way down there. Trust me. We're about halfway down the straight stretch. We call it the straight stretch here. And if you look back down there, just halfway up the hill on the farm, that's the shop roof. And the hay shed is a little bit to the right of that. Look at the color. Isn't that something? Stunning. I think that's a fair word for it. No cows so far. Right there about the end of the straight stretch is where the end of my neighbor's pasture tees in. Well, just around the corner, just a bit, I think. It's a pretty big country here. Ranch country in the Caribou region. That's the highway we drove in on. We call that the big pond. Cows down there. Where's those cows, Finn? Go find them. Where's that cow? Find her. Here's the remains of something that got itself dead on the train tracks that had teeth. Now, who knows? This could be a cow, could be a moose. There's the horns. Sit up there. The horns would come out right here, and that's the crown of the head. Leg bones, and jaw bones, and there's the other jaw bone. Fact of the matter is, things get hit on the tracks. Ribs. It's the nasty fact about railways. There you see the fence laying down right there, pushed over. And some spare spikes that fell off the wagon or something. If you walked down the train tracks and started picking up spikes, I bet you wouldn't get a mile before you couldn't pack it anymore. There's a lot. And either they take them out and they're a little bit bent so they can't reuse them, or it slips and whatever. It's a pretty high production when they do the maintenance. You don't have time to be climbing around picking up a dropped spike. And the odd time there's a tie, a railroad tie, that has a twist or whatever, and you'll see railroad ties off to the side as well that weren't good enough. And they're intending to pick them up later, and obviously they do, or there'd be a lot more railroad ties, but it's a process. So we're just about there, just where the edge of this little cut is. That's where my neighbor's fence tees in. There's a spot here where the fences, the posts are broken off. Someone propped it up a little bit, but it's pretty much laying down on the ground. I don't know how the post broke, but the cow could walk over that pretty easily. And there's another one 100 yards south, same thing. So there we go. We're going back. The farm is that way. Oh, there, you can see. If you look down the straight stretch, you'll see Tim, and then past Tim, you'll see our shop roof. And we didn't find any cows. Did we, Finn? Nope, we didn't. Look at that. Cool, huh? There's a tourist train that comes down this way. Called the Rocky Mountaineer. And it's got double-decker viewing cars, etc., etc. And you wouldn't think that you could see too many dead cows on the side of the road and the tourists would be starting to ask a few questions. But the law of the Canadian West is thus: if you don't want someone's cows on your property, it's your responsibility to fence them off of your property. There's another law in Canada that says it's illegal to kill somebody else's cow. And so, if the railway doesn't maintain their fence to keep somebody else's cows off of their right-of-way, and then as a result, they kill somebody else's cow, well, I'll leave that up to you to think about. Because they certainly don't pay you if they run over your cow, or your cow gets killed by the train. They don't run over cows. Trains doesn't work that way. They get hit and smacked hard and then broken leg or something, and they die on the side of the tracks. That guy's just the right size. He goes hoppity hoppity from railroad tie to railroad tie. We're almost there. Can't see the shop. The shop's around the corner now. That's the hay shed. Huh. Walked all the way down there for nothing. There it is here, sitting right by my hay field. Looks like it's got a white tag in it. It's that black cow. White tag in both ears. That black cow with a big calf. You can't get much closer than this to it, otherwise it spooks. She likes to come down here on the right-of-way because she gets to be beside my cows. And in the fall, that's what cows do, is they herd up with each other. And that's what she's been up to here. Aren't you guys buddies? There you go, home sweet home. Now you can see that's the hay shed, and when we were way down the other end, that's what we were looking at there, the shop roof. They could go down the tracks, but there's plenty of forage on the train tracks now, on the right-of-way, and so they're going to live there until the snow flies. And there's really no point. This particular neighbor who they belong to, there's not much point in advising him because he doesn't seem to care much. He's of the opinion they'll come home when they come home. And if the train hits them, the train hits them. But you can see there's a lot of food there, so they're doing okay. It's a cow and a calf pair. They've been hanging around there for a week. Hurry up, cows! Come on! Come on! I don't see the bull. We need a bull. You might be interested in that cow out on the train tracks. I hope not. And there's Jack, hiding in the bushes, having thistles. After the weather gets cold, the first frost or close to a frost, something happens to these thistles and they get flavorful, because after that, the cows come and eat them all up. Don't they, Jack? You like thistles? Show our friends on the internet how you eat a thistle. No? Don't want to? Oh, he likes that thistle way over there where I can't film him. What a guy. Fine. Okay. Eat a thistle. Let's see. Show him how you eat thistles, Jack. He goes through and he looks for all the thistles and he eats them. Just the special ones. But they don't like this kind of thistle. It's the extra thorny kind. I believe that's called a Russian thistle. The cows don't like them kind. They like what's called a Scotch thistle. It doesn't have the spikes on it like this one does, by any stretch. Do they, Jack? Cows like Scotch thistles. Where's a Scotch thistle? There you go. That's what Scotch thistle looks like. Not quite as thorny. See?